hello. Sure, I got it all. There we go. So, hello and welcome. I am Tsukiru, and today we are going to continue playing the Bookwalker, Thief of Tales. We should be on the third book, getting ready to do a third book. And we'll go ahead and get started. Hello? I have a job for you. Mm-hmm. What's this? Mm-hmm. Are you ready or not? I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready as always. You'll need to be even more ready than you usually are. I have a new partner, and if we pull this job off without a hitch, you can't even imagine what opportunities will open for me. I'm happy for you. So we need to make this client happy. If he's happy, then I'll be happy too. And if I'm happy, a little of that happiness might trickle down to you. Get my drift? Like I said before, I'm not doing this for the money, it's for my shackles. The client sent me an advance payment, and I spent it on my new office. So get ready, and don't let me down. It's so funny how it, drop it and run.
It's easier to get a new one.
Like ding dong ditch with a not a flaming bag. A strange note. The contractor agrees to infiltrate the Kornelius Paradox by Oleg Sergeyev and extract an item, Cornelius's magic wand. The client agrees to pay the negotiated sum upon fulfillment of the contract. An excerpt from a review. It certainly expands the universe, but new books in this series are published so rarely that this expansion seems more like mockery. However, I must admit I am intrigued. So, the Kornelius Paradox. Alright. Before we do that, let me see if there's anything else. Excerpt from an article. Several readers reported the incident to the writer's police, who immediately began investigating the situation. All copies of Torben Zakinski's The Spark of a Hammer have now been taken off the shelves. Ooh. Seems like we made it out at the right time. To Etienne Quist from the Harmony Publishing Agency. Rumors of your situation have reached us, Mr. Quist. We assure you that everyone at Harmony sympathizes with you and wants to help you in any way we can. We invite you to serve your sentence with us. However, unfortunately, our resources are quite limited, so payment is out of the question. We remember just how good your books were, and we want you to get back to the creative process as soon as possible and write fantastic new material. Thanks, guys, but that really doesn't help. Etienne Quist. This letter confirms that you have repaid your water bill debt. We ask you to please refrain from future late payments. Sincerely, the water company. So I can... I have a bathroom now.
Later.
The water's back on. I can finally wash my clothes. Not right now. Well, that's cool. The technological team that have been developing the system known as television is now defunct. This motion picture system was developed by Steve Durich, who died last month. High development costs and complexity of use forced the board of directors to abandon the project. Ooh. Of course, if you could dive into a book, what would you need television for? Damn people. I don't think that lady over there noticed me. But this guy definitely saw me land. You there, Roderick? Like always. I figured out how I can convince you that I'm not cold and cruel. And heartless. Well, and unpleasant. And someone who couldn't care less about anyone else. Alright, fine. Keep it down over there. Sorry. So here's my plan. Not only am I not going to hurt any characters, since you've done such a good job of that up until now, I'm actually going to help them. All of them. We're going to help every single person we meet in this book. Sound good? We won't abandon anyone. Sounds pretty suspicious. Oh, come on. I'm a completely different person now, deep down inside. You'll see. We'll start with this guy over here. Hi, do you need help? Me? No, thanks. I'm all right. Well, that's one less we have to help. I said keep it down. Let's go find more characters. Hold on. What are we actually what are we actually here in this book for? Oh yeah, I need to find Cornelius's wand. A magic wand? Most likely, yes. And it's a rush order, but I think we'll still have time to help everyone. Okay, but I'm going to keep an eye on you. You're acting really strange today. I won't let you down. A man dressed in a classic modern suit sits expectantly on the bench. His outfit seems very out of place in this old-fashioned school of magic. My God. He notices you looking at him and tries to avert his eyes from you as far as possible. Do you know how to get inside? I'm scheduled in already. You may have to sign up for an appointment or something. There are job openings on the wall over there. Let's see if there's anything good. What are you doing here? I'm waiting for my classroom to be free. Oh, so you're a teacher. Nods briefly. What do you teach? Table manners? I teach a programming class here. His chest puffs out a little. What's that? I've heard of it. It's hard to explain. He waves a dismissive hand at you and returns to his thoughts. Let's see. You see a message board packed with information. It's divided into several sections. Let's see. School job postings. Let's see. Part-time receptionist wanted. Requirements. Female, age 50 above. Not quite a fit. Seeking system administrator. Hourly rate offered. What kind of administrator is that? Well, let's keep looking. Oh, this one's perfect for you. Janitor needed. Guess I'll have to try. In this column, written in large letters, is uniting our differences and overcoming challenges. So that's the school motto. General information. Headmaster Robert Lemantier. Education license number 0023. Hours 8 to 2000. Visiting hours for parents 1630 to 1700. Okay. You take the slim, worn book from its folder on the wall. There are insults written all over the cover. Yeah, so the locals don't like wizards very much? Stop taking up so much space in our city. We could have built a huge parking lot here. No one in this cursed neighborhood can sell their houses, and it's all your fault. Big deal. Okay. Who are you? What do you want? The receptionist doesn't look at you. Her attention is fixed on the small TV set on her desk. Is there anything I can help you with? You? Help me? She raises her eyebrows in surprise. But your words are still not enough to draw her attention away from the TV. That's right, I've decided to try and help everyone I meet today. Well, isn't that nice? Now, I asked you, who are you and why are you here? Why? I have an urgent business with the headmaster. Did you make an appointment? I don't believe so. Then I'll ask you again. What do you want? You can hear the irritation in her voice, but you don't know if it's because you or because the team in the football game on the TV just missed a goal. Let's show her the job listing. You're looking for a janitor, and I'm looking for work. Yes, we've been looking. The receptionist rolls her eyes, but Fine looks away from the TV and turns to you for the first time. Why are you all wrapped up like that? Is that paper your face? It's a disguise. The receptionist opens the desk drawer and, with a sigh, pulls out a stack of pink, yellow, and green forms that puff out in a cloud of dust as she drops them on the desk. Is this going to take long? Name? Etienne. Any allergies to cleaning products? Cleaning products? I thought you were all wizards. Answer the question. No allergies. Excellent. You're hired. Just like that? Here's a bucket and a rag. To the right of me, you'll find the entrance to the library. Wipe the dust off the bookshelves and then come back here. What about those cleaning products? We're fresh out. She turns her attention back to the TV. I'll get it done. So let's see. Alright, so it's on the crafting station. Old books and boxes. The bookshelves aren't going to wash themselves. And of course, they just have to be the biggest bookshelves I've ever seen in my life. I need to go find water for my rag. Take those. Alright. Well, let's go find some water. A rusty tap dripping rusty water. Is this really the only way to get inside the school? You take the rag from the bucket and wring it out. They don't just let anyone passing by go into the main hall, and that's where Cornelius's wand is. And the wand isn't the only thing in there. What else? All those characters you said you were going to help? Oh yes, right. I'd advise you to keep pretending to be a janitor, even once we get inside. You sigh and wipe a layer of dust off the first shelf. This isn't exactly how I imagined an adventure in a school of magic. On the second shelf, you notice an old piece of paper. It must have fallen out of the book. Read. Looks like someone's notes, probably a student's. There's a barrier that exists around our solar system, a wall covered in symbols. Each symbol allows us to use one spell. It's hard to believe that the wall the wall protects us from external threats due to the fact that it's constantly being assaulted from the outside, causing gradual destruction of the symbols on it. What will happen to us when all the symbols are destroyed? Well, what will happen once they are destroyed? You crumple up the paper and toss it aside. Don't worry, we won't be around to see it. You turn your attention back to the rag, bucket, and dust on the shelves. 10 minutes later. Well, I think this bookshelf is clean now. We should get the other bookshelves done now. You're looking at a clean, empty bookshelf. Alright. This is the biggest bookshelf in the room, and it's covered in a thick layer of dust. You find yourself unconsciously squeezing the rag in your hand. You wet the rag in the bucket and start wiping the dust off the shelves. It's boring work, and your eyes start wandering over the shelves, coming to rest on an old-looking folder. You brush the dust off the folder, which is decorated with a man's head crest and an inscription, the Paradox Guild. There's nothing but dull documents in the folder. Nothing catches your eye at first. But then you find a handwritten letter at the very back. Dear Marcius, I'm asking you please to accept another guild into your ranks. I know you will protest, but I am unwilling to discuss that. I assume you've read the report already. However, there is a religious aspect to it that I left out because I wanted to tell you about it off the record. They use wizards solely for military purposes. According to their beliefs, wizards must use their powers to destroy the armies of the enemy, which, of course, in this day and age is quite difficult. What I am asking you to do is to pay attention to each of these students because once they finish their studies, they're going straight to the battlefield. The Paradox Guild. Okay. Hang on. Notebook. That seems important. Sometimes they remember things for me, sometimes they don't. So if I need to be asked what guild I'm a part of. Alright, continue cleaning. 20 minutes later. Well, I think this bookshelf is clean now. Then I suggest we get started on the next one. It's a dusty bookshelf that looks even dustier than the others. You sigh and start wiping the dust off the shelves, but stop when your rag catches on something. There's something scratched into the shelf. These look like runes. Oh no, they're words. It says, second shelf, third book from the left. Okay. 15 minutes later. Alright, this bookshelf is done. All the bookshelves are clean. We should go tell the receptionist it's done. Second shelf, third book. Looks like they forgot to put these books up for sale. Maybe there's something interesting in here. Second shelf, third book from the left. You pull out the book and you hear a click. Ooh, secret staircase. Secret library. They were given 5 years to prove the theory that the appearance of magic in our world was due to divine intervention. The theory was eventually discarded. There is an elegant writing desk under the staircase. It's seen better days. There's a small lock on the desk drawer. Ooh, a lock. That must mean there must be something valuable inside. Try and open it. The lock may be old, but it's still shut tight. I'll need some kind of tool for this. Walk away for now. Okay. That seems everything there. Are you finished dusting? All done. We'll see about that. She reluctantly turns off the TV. The receptionist groans as she stands up and goes to check your work. Not bad at all. Happy to help. You give Roderick's cage a satisfying glance. Get going now. You have a new task. I wanted to ask about the wand. No time for that. Go straight to the headmaster. There's a spill in his office that needs cleaning up. Straight down the hall, then to the right. I unlock the door for you. Fine. You see an opulent through slightly shabby altar, with a magic wand sitting on a pedestal in the middle of it. I didn't think we'd get to it so easily. To what? That's Cornelius's wand, the one you're supposed to find, remember? Oh, right. Well, I guess I'll just have to help the characters in the next book. There's nothing but a thick glass pane separating you from the wand. A heavy lock hangs below the panel, keeping it shut. Examine. The wand looks old, and the paint on it has started to peel in places. It's giving off a slight glow and a low hum. Look around. There's not a soul in the hallway. You can hear some people arguing loudly behind the door on the right. You continue scanning your surroundings. You eventually notice a surveillance camera watching you from the ceiling. Is that thing working? What is it? That thing is watching us, recording everything that happens. What do we care if it records? I think you should break the glass, grab the wand, and get out of the book already. What's the holdup? I've never seen a lock like this before. The hole looks more like a spiral. I don't think a lockpick will work on it. Just break the glass. I don't want to make a lot of noise. What's gotten into you today? You're being so cautious. I told you, I'm not really a bad person. Hey, are you our new janitor? You see a middle-aged man in the doorway. Yes, I'm the janitor. I'm the one who called for you. Come into my office. He opens the door wider. I really think we should just break the glass and grab the wand, and... The man starts to reach for his belt, where his own wand sits in the holster. Come on, smash the case. And I'll just walk over. Can you not hear me? He's pointing his wand at you. Sorry, I was lost in thought. That wand is just so gorgeous. The man slowly lowers his wand and silently waits for you to walk over to him. Come in, come in. An old man who is also in the office nods briefly at you. You found us through the job posting? Yes. I always dreamed of seeing a school of magic. Really? It's not very often you hear something like that from a non-wizard. But you don't really look like an ordinary person either. No offense. Anyways, we have a few stains to clean up here. Our former headmaster spilled a potion. He slightly accentuates the word former. I only spilled it because you distracted me. Don't pretend it was my fault. The old man seems sincere in his claim. It doesn't matter. In any case, please clean it up. He returns to his work. What kind of potion? Marcius, what kind of potion was it? He doesn't look up from his desk. A magic retention potion. I don't want to lose everything my ancestors passed down to me. He grinned a senile grin. I see. The headmaster responds with a sour grimace, whispering, It's just herbal Beloza tea. Alright, let's get started. You start wiping the first stain with the rag. The potion doesn't really budge. I heard you plan to sell everything from the geomancy department, too. The geomancy symbols were shattered last year. Why would we bother keeping all that? Why, indeed. That's our history. Let history stay in the past. He turned his attention back to his work. The stain is finally gone. You can start on the next one. The second stain is bigger than the first, and someone has already stepped in it, spreading the potion over the floor. First cleaning the bookshelves, now cleaning the floor. What's next? The toilets? Just keep going and get done. Once you finish, we'll go back for the wand in the hallway. That wand you have out in the hall is so interesting. The old man starts breathing angrily and sends a vicious stare your way. The headmaster pauses for a second. Indeed. Enjoy it while it's here. What do you mean, while it's here? The headmaster tenses up. It seems like he's about to make a very painful decision. Oh, yes, by the way, I wanted to warn you, Marcius. We found a buyer for the wand. He tenses up again after he speaks. Is he talking about your client? I don't think so. The old man drops his teacup on the floor. It shatters, splattering more potion onto the floor under the desk. You must be joking. You put the symbol of our school up for sale? I actually put everything in the school up for sale. No one wants to buy most of the old junk, but a few people from the capital expressed interest in the wand. How could you? The old man's head starts shaking. Hold on, you should probably sit down. The wand. Cornelius's wand. Are you listening to me? We'll get enough money for it that we can go another 6 months without government support. Bang! You're going to regret this. I'll call a meeting of the school council and challenge it. He jumps up from his chair. The old man hurries off. He's going to take the wand. We need to stop him. Don't worry, he's gone crazy like that about 10 times already this week. Besides, I have the key. Only I have the key to the case. He pauses for a second, clearly regretting telling you that. While you were busy with the conversation, you seem to have finished wiping up the stains. Looks like I'm done here. Can I go? Yes, thank you. He turns to the door. You can hear voices coming from the other side, getting louder and louder. Now what's going on up there? Let me go see. All sorts of junk with tea spilled on it. Oops, some tools. That. Double check. Okay. What's going on here? A crowd of people have gathered in the hall. They are whispering amongst themselves, looking at the altar in the middle of the room. It's the wand, headmaster, sir. Cornelius's wand is gone. Fucking hell! Rock! Damn it! The client asked me not to lose track of it. I told you. Everyone looks at you, not speaking. All right, then. You turn to the gathered crowd. Who saw it last? I think it was you, right, Sir Marcius? You left the office, and then you must have walked right past it. But it was there at the time. That's if we can take your word for it. Do you have any reason not to believe me? Indeed, especially when it comes to theft of school property. Do you think I don't know about your secret stash under the library? The only one stealing here is you, giving away our heritage. Just admit you stole it and put it back where it belongs. I didn't touch it. The headmaster looks at the camera mounted on the ceiling. We'll see if that's true, but for now, take note. I'm ordering a total lockdown of the school. No one goes in or out. And all of the teachers present, and you as well, ma'am. He nods to the receptionist. And you too, he quickly points at you. But definitely not you. He points at the former headmaster. All of you, start searching for the wand. Yes, sir. Everyone he indicated responds at once. Yes, sir. You're a little slow to speak, and it sounds silly. All right, then, everyone, get to it. I'm going to check the surveillance camera footage, but that will take some time. I'll be in my office. If you so much as try to leave the school, I'll have the police after you. I'll be in my office. The crowd disperses. So what do we do? We're going to find the wand. You furiously straighten the collar of your coat. You see a portrait of a man with bandaged hands, or rather what's left of his mangled wrists. How awful. That's one of the old headmasters. Back in his day, wizards didn't wield wands. They held spells in their hands to cast them, like real men, which, of course, doesn't protect them from the consequences of a spell gone wrong. I see. Empty pedestal case. An empty pedestal. Looks like one of the portraits is missing. Alright, let's go to the main hall. Stop right there. I'm just the janitor. I'm just the janitor. Who are you? I'm just the janitor. I guess the school really is out of money. Can't even hire normal people. See that teacher over there with the glasses? Go tell him they moved his class to the room downstairs. You don't need to be a genius to realize the students are plotting something. They're giggling and glancing around. One of them is holding a padlock. Oh, come on, help us play a trick on him. It's just a fun little tradition. What do I do? He's asking for help and we promised to help everyone. I don't think this counts. They're clearly up to no good. Why are you thinking so hard? It's just a harmless prank. We're going to lock him in the basement for like 10 minutes and then let him out. I mean, just look at him coming here full of himself. He's planning to teach wizards, but he's not even a wizard. You don't think the man in the cheap suit looks particularly arrogant, but maybe it's more obvious to the students. I'll think about it. Bookshelf. You see a tall, smiling boy in front of you. What a day, huh? The boy seems entertained by everything that's happening. He extends a hand out to you. My name's Mikhail. Etienne. Nice to meet you. You're our new janitor, right? More like janitor/detective. The headmaster tasked me with finding the lost wand. You and the whole rest of the school, yeah. But I wouldn't expect the teachers to be in any sort of hurry to find it. Isn't the wand dangerous? It's hard to say. We have no idea what spell is being held inside. There was a spell inside it too? I can explain it to you if you want. Explain. When we want to summon a spell, he pulls out his wooden wand. We speak the name of the sign, which draws the spell into our wand. Veritos. His wand starts glowing very faintly. Now I can use this spell at any time by just flicking my wand. He swipes his hand gently, almost like a paintbrush, and the slightest wisp of steam rises from the tip. Whoa! The problem is no one knows what spell was being held inside Cornelius's wand. He puts his wand back in his belt. And since Cornelius studied the most powerful spells and experimented with combining them, it could be something incredibly dangerous. Thanks for explaining that to me. But hey, maybe he just had a spell to chill his drinks in there. The student flashes a brief smile. Do you know who might have stolen the wand? I don't. But to be honest, there's been a lot of weird stuff happening in the school lately. One of the old teachers is acting strange. This morning, one of the second-year students disappeared. There are rumors going around about undead in the walls. All kinds of stuff. Did he say undead? Tell me more. Sure. What do you want to hear more about? Tell me about the old teacher. Hold on. I never said I suspected anyone of stealing the wand. Although... Mikhail rubs his chin thoughtfully. You're probably right. When there's no good leads, you have to look into everyone. Who did you ask me about? The teacher? I haven't seen that teacher in a long time myself, but they say he stopped showing up for lectures and spends his time hiding in abandoned classrooms. Sounds suspicious. He has a daughter, by the way, who usually works down in the laboratory. She might be able to tell you more. Thanks, I'll check it out. I'm afraid I don't know anything else about him. Mikhail shifts his weight back and forth. What's going on with the missing student? It's nothing, really. Just some bad student no one can find. I think he probably ran away. It happens every semester. Why's that? The School of Magic isn't really all that prestigious nowadays. We could be studying to be lawyers or going to military school instead. Where do you think I should look? I don't know him, but I saw the receptionist putting up some flyers about the search. You should ask her. Undead in the walls? I think it's just a school legend. Mikhail pauses, gathering his thoughts, and then continues. But now that I think about it, people have been talking about them a lot lately. You should ask the students in the dorms. They might know more. Nothing else, thanks. Okay. Did you find out anything else? Nope. Move boxes. Take them. A heavy lock hangs from the door, and I need a key. Those. Crates. Flask of gas. I wouldn't touch that. Slowly back away from the large flask full of a dark colored gas. What is that? Ammonia gas. What's it for? I'm studying it. You're studying smoke in a jar. Actually, it's quite unique. It's the only cyanogen gas. What kind of gas? Gas that originates from signs. On the wall, covered in symbols that create spells. Well, not so covered now. They allow us to create fireballs and lightning bolts, all those party tricks that wizards are so interested in. And boring, strange ammonia gas. Practically no one has studied it. Okay, whatever you say, gas is gas. What's so special about it? Casually jab a finger at the jar. The fact that it turns people into dull students? No, into the undead. Their skin gets all covered in something charred looking and black. Oh my god. They're overcome by mysterious and highly contagious disease, and according to my calculations, it might even start a whole epidemic. Fine, I won't touch it. And therefore I'm petitioning for use of the ammonia sign to be forbidden, just like the signs that have already been shattered already. She adjusts her glasses on the bridge of her nose. How'd you get it? Hold on. If it's so dangerous, then maybe you shouldn't... Haven't you heard enough reasons not to touch the jar? She clearly doesn't want to talk about it anymore. Yeah? Let's see. Looks like I might be able to do both of these. Like that. Go back to the library. Sorry, the laboratory's occupied right now. She turns to you and freezes. 1/3 of her concern is at your behavior, another third is at your appearance, but there's something else underneath. I've been tasked with finding Cornelius's wand, and I wanted to look around down here. Are you alright? Sorry if I scared you. No, it's fine. She turns around and pretends to be busy with her work, but her hands are shaking slightly. Do you know anything about the missing wand? About what? Cornelius's wand. It was stolen today. Oh, no. I don't know anything. Her hand starts shaking even harder. Stop pushing her. Fine. Listen, I can see something's worrying you. Maybe I can help? I won't tell anyone. You can trust me. The girl turns and looks at you. Her eyes are full of doubt. One of the teachers here is my father. He's been acting really strange recently. I'm worried that he's caught up in something bad. I'd be grateful if you could find out what's happening with him. She turns to you again, but keeps her eyes on the floor. Got it. I'll look for the strange teacher. First, I'm going to go back to the library. While I'm there, I can talk to the receptionist. Let's see. Let's pick the lock. The lock turns out to be a simple one, and you quickly open it using the lockpick. Ring, coins, and a jar. Sweet. Now there's nothing else I need in here. And just the shelves. Right. I don't have time for you right now, young man. I'm incredibly busy. Have you seen anything suspicious? Yes, a janitor keeps poking his nose into things that aren't his business. You should help me find our missing student instead. A second year, right? I heard a little bit about him already. Do you know anything about his disappearance? I know that he's an idiot. Jeez. What's his name? Mendes. Last name? He's part of the Zeeblick Guild. They don't have last names. She looks at you mistrustfully. What does he look like? Like an ordinary student. She's so full of information. Who might know more about him? His friends are always smoking in the bathroom. Try asking them. Smoking? You let them do that? It's not my problem. My job is keeping unwanted types from walking into the school. Is there anyone else who might have seen him? I don't know. Maybe the movers outside. Why are you so sure he's in the school? Because the school's on lockdown until we locate the missing wand. Oh, right. So he must be somewhere on school property. Alright. Bedmaster tasked me with finding the wand. Congratulations. The receptionist remains focused on the TV screen, where a soap opera is now playing. I won't interrupt you any longer. Several students are smoking in the toilet stall, lean against the wall and eavesdrop on their conversation. Apollo is such a traitor. The whole school was talking about him yesterday. What'd he do? He lit the candle, if you can believe it, with his wand. You see a puff of smoke. Yeah, no way. Even the headmaster can't do anything like that now. The new one definitely not. Or he tied a match to his wand, more likely. Just like Mendes did, remember? Where'd he go anyway? Mendes, he was in the infirmary last I heard. Yeah, sure, all cozy under a blanket. Bet he got the hell out of here like he planned. Haven't seen him since morning. I thought he was all talk, but I guess not. The hiss of cigarette butts being put out marks the end of the conversation. The voices fall silent and the door opens. You press yourself against the wall and they don't notice you. Someone named Mendes who ran away from the school. You think he took our wand? We'll need to check. Hopefully he hasn't gone far yet. She also mentioned the movers outside. Not even a child would fit in these boxes. These boxes are taped shut. Clearly have been for a while. You knock on a closed box, but there's no one in there. Can't. Nothing inside but full boxes. A long row of boxes sits alongside the truck waiting to be loaded. Examine. There's no one here, just ordinary boxes. Hang on, look at that one down there. You notice the tape on one of the boxes has come off. It seems to have been opened already. Hey, what are you doing? Hands off the boxes. Someone's hiding in there. Oh yeah, sure. Someone stole the priceless artifact from the school. It might be a thief hiding in there. I'm getting sick of you. How about we beat him up, Nikki? Yeah, sounds good to me. The movers start getting to their feet and rolling up their sleeves. The Handmaster ordered me to find the wand. Should I tell him you were poking around in the boxes out here? Alright, Nikki, calm down. Let him look. What's it to us? Movers turn away from you, disgruntled. Phew. Now where were we? Move all the junk in your way aside and open the box with no tape. Shh! Don't give me away! A scrawny, scared-looking boy is sitting in the box with a frightened look in his eyes. His robe's covered with crumbs and sawdust. You're Mendes, I assume. Huh? How do you know my name? What are you doing in there? I'm hiding. I see that. Why? I want to get out of this school. You give him a reproachful look. All we do here is waste time. Everyone else is doing real stuff, going to college or work or whatever. Just my luck I was born with these powers. Looks at his hand. Where's Cornelius's wand? What wand? What's that got to do with me? Stop playing dumb. Why'd you steal the wand? I didn't take anything. The student opens his robe and starts showing you his pockets, revealing nothing but a half loaf of bread. Looks like he's telling the truth. He's just a student who wants to drop out of school. Well, still. I had to check. Alright, come out of there. Wait, why should I come out? Don't make me go back. Glance over at the movers. They aren't paying any attention to you, and it doesn't seem like they heard anything. Leave me in the box. Let them take me away from the school. Are you sure you thought this through? What do you know about it anyway? You've been here for 2 years and you want all that to be for nothing? 2 years, 3 years, what does it matter? Even 10 years here wouldn't get me anywhere. Do you at least have some kind of plan? Of course, I'm going to see my uncle. He'll help me find work. And I should have no problem getting on my feet. Okay, Mendes, it's your choice. Since you don't have the wand, I couldn't care less about the other stuff. You close the box and walk away. Well, that's one less mystery now. Plus, we definitely helped him, wouldn't you say? Well, according to the plot, he ended up having a pretty good life outside of school. So here we go. We helped. Boxes sit on the ground, ready to be shipped out. They're wrapped up with plastic ties. You look at the movers. They won't see you here. You quickly cut through the ties and open the box, trying not to make any noise. The box contains someone's belongings wrapped in paper. You find a few useful items amongst them. Ooh, rope. Two movers sitting on cardboard boxes smoking. The boxes bowing under their weight. You eavesdrop on their conversation. My back's about to give out from lugging all this junk around. I told you to wear a belt, didn't I? He slapped his belly, which was wrapped in a sturdy leather belt. The lanky mover flicks his lighter lazily and brings the flame closer to a tiny metal seal holding the cardboard box closed. In an instant, the metal seal falls to the ground. What do we have here? Rummages among the paper-wrapped school equipment in the box. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. The lanky one takes something out of the box. It's glowing and made of glass. What the hell do you want with that piece of crap? I don't know. I'll keep it as a souvenir. It'll light up my house. Right, a souvenir from Magical Idiots. Real valuable. But I'll be the only one around who has something as wild as this. Maybe I'll even sell it. Sell it to who? A useless crap collector? Alright, let's see. Ooh. Sweet. Got some extra ink. Okay. I remember you. We met by the entrance. I see you managed to get inside. Oh yes, you're that teacher of something programming. That's right. Do you think you could help me? My class is starting in a minute now, but I can't find my classroom. Everyone I ask keeps pointing me in a different direction. Send me to the second floor. Try the second floor. Oh my, are you sure? So many people told me to check the basement. Trust me, you definitely shouldn't check the basement. The teacher looks over at a nearby group of students. All right, thank you then. See you around. You nod, not taking your eyes off the group of students who now look quite annoyed. Hey, how's it going? Have you figured anything out yet? Missing student has been located. Oh, where is he now? He ran away from school, but he didn't have the wand. I feel that. Did you find anything else? Nope. The wand, did something happen to it? Some nerd. Okay, so we got 3 dormitories. Ooh. The other girl should be back by now. Okay. Shady student. That looks like a portrait. What do you want? You see a shifty-looking student. The frame of a giant portrait is sticking out from under his bed. What is that you've got there? Point at the picture. Nothing. It's none of your business. Decided to steal a painting from the school? Student looks at you suddenly. Sullenly. So, what's with the picture? Get lost. I said none of it's your business. Splash him with a bucket of water. This isn't the first teenager you come across who thinks he's hot stuff. Rolling your eyes, you tilt the bucket and splash dirty water right into his arrogant little face. What's wrong with you? Are you insane? The insolent student is shocked, but still looks at you intently and blocks your way to the painting. Get the hell out of here, shoves you backwards. Alright, no one has to know, you wink. Did you find something interesting? What's the deal with the painting? You wink again. The student looks around nervously. Marty swore this painting would open some kind of secret cache. A secret cache? You have to hang the painting somewhere, but he didn't say exactly where. So he didn't see the huge space in the wall of the main hall where the portrait is clearly missing? How about I go find where to hang it myself? But what if there's something valuable in there and I miss out on it? What if there's something dangerous in there? You can deal with it yourself. Fine. Tell me what you want in exchange for the picture. Ooh, now you're talking. Get me a strong drink. You want me to get drinks for underage kids? I'm 25. But why are you still in school? Figure it out for yourself. I was held back a few times in my second year. Fine, I'll think about it. Yeah, you do that. With one final shove, he pushes the painting all the way under his bed. I don't think I have. I have a bucket. I would have thought that the candy would have counted as, like, healing. But it's junk. Insignia. The inscription on the crest says Imperial. The girl shrinks back into her bed. Your parent seems to have frightened her. Boo. Don't be afraid. I'm just the new janitor. I look like this because I never ate my porridge as a child. The girl lets out a tense giggle. Ask about the undead. Have you heard any rumors about the undead in the walls? No. There are no friends in the walls. She whirls around to look at the fireplace, then turns back to you. Friends? What the heck was that? Why'd you look at the fireplace? Is something there? The girl shakes her head frantically. There's definitely something there. We should check it out. The heat from the fireplace assaults your face. It's so stuffy in here. It's summer. Why'd the fireplace be lit? An ordinary fireplace. Above you, you see a symbol that looks like a lion. I wonder what that means. Angry flames burn in the fireplace. The papers on your head start to curl up from the heat, and the sparks are flying dangerously close to you. You can't see anything beyond the bright flames. You can't make out anything through the bright flames, but you suddenly hear far off voices. What's this? How did they get here? There's someone there. Hey, can you hear me? Silence. All you hear is the pop and the crackle of unburnt wood in the fireplace. I don't know how, but we need to get inside. Angry flames burn in the fireplace. Well, let's go get more water. We'll have to put it out. Water to put out the fire. It's just a fire. You have a bucket of water. Put two and two together, you have an unlit fireplace. The stream of murky water flows straight into the middle of the fireplace. The flames spark and hiss, but don't go out. It's as though the fire is absorbing the water with no consequence. This is a gas fireplace? A what? There's clearly something fishy about this fireplace. I'll give you a hint. There's a spell on it. You can't put it out with water. Well, what can I use? Actually, anything you want, as long as it's not water. About a fire extinguisher. A who? Never mind. I think there's one in my building. I should go back to reality and check. Yes, hello? Well, do you have the wand yet? I only just started the book. Well, snap to it! Client's been calling me and asking about it. Why such a rush? There's a lot of money at stake, Walker. A lot. This isn't something that should be hurried. It's better if I don't hurry. I need to be careful about what I do. You know what's even better? Hurrying and being careful. How's that for a plan? Alright, I'll try and speed things up. Get going! Probably just shouldn't have answered the phone. Jesus Christ. Just gonna have to wait, dude. What happened here? Let's see. I thought I saw... Old stuff that belonged to the previous tenant. Nothing really changed after the renovations. Shouldn't there be a... For safety, shouldn't there be a fire extinguisher in here? Oh, someone left an apple. Smells like burnt bacon. Jeez Louise, what? Get your wand if you leave me alone. Etienne Quist? Oh yes, that's me. Mr. Quist, I'm calling from the Writers Police Department. Were you notified that you would be contacted for questioning? Questioning? It's about your neighbor. Old Henry? We can't reveal his name over the phone. But it's not anyone named Henry. I'm talking about the man who lived on the first floor of your building. What do I have to do with it? Or the Writers Police, for that matter. Didn't you know your neighbor was a writer? What? So you never talked to him? No. All this time he was a writer? He recently finished working off his sentence and became a free writer once again. However, a few days ago he was found... I think it would be more appropriate to discuss these details in person. When are you available for a visit? I really don't have time for that right now. How about noon tomorrow? That works. We'll see you then. Dude. Okay. I feel like I saw something somewhere, but... Maybe I'm just imagining. It's really big. How do you effectively do anything with something that big over the tub? Wouldn't it work better being like right there? Rather give that space up than not actually be able to stand in the shower. My neighbors won't mind I made a bit of a mess here. Excuse me, are you home? Seems like the old man's not home. Hello, sorry to bother you. Excuse me, I really need a key to the storage room. Please, I can hear you in there. I need the fire extinguisher, but it's locked inside. It's inside a locked case. I'm trying to help you too. Time is running out. We're going to burn alive. What are you shouting about? Oh, hello. I don't smell smoke. Where's this fire going on about? In my apartment, it just started. I'm not lying. I think something's happening with the wiring. What, you want me to wait around while my apartment burns down? Then you'll believe me? When the flames spread into the hallway and your apartment catches fire too? Alright, you don't have to yell. Just bring it back later. Thank you. There we go. Might not smell smoke, but it looks like there's plenty of smoke in here. Alright. Jump back in. Extinguisher. You shoot the fire extinguisher's foam right onto the flames. How's that for you, An enchanted fireplace. Wow. Stairs. Abandoned dormitory. Group of students. A group of girls stand by the way out, which is blocked off with stones. Their hands and robes are dirty and dusty. It looks like they were trying to clear the way. Hey, what are you doing here? The girls turn sharply to face you. Quiet, one of them whispers through her teeth. Is everything all right? Shut up, several girls whisper at once. Suddenly you hear a noise behind you. You turn and see four dark silhouettes that are twitching unnaturally in the semi-darkness. Great, they heard you. Now we have to fight. Are those the undead in the walls that I've been hearing about? Yep. Stand back. I'll deal with them. The girls look at your ID badge curiously. What a combat-ready janitor we have. We can take care of this ourselves. We're from Baratus. From where? We're combat wizards? Oh, I've heard something about you. But let me try and deal with them first. The girls move aside and the dark figures come closer. There's no retreating now. I mean, I got plenty of food, so let's just go for it. Oh, wow. That worked out really well. The girls look at you with interest. Not bad, but we would have been able to fight them ourselves. Are you alright? We're totally fine. We're just going to catch our breaths and head back upstairs. Don't hang around here. There might be more of those things. What happened? That crazy girl brought us here to check the abandoned classrooms, and then she locked us in. Then these undead started coming out, but we, unlike some people, know better than to go around yelling. They didn't notice us. I think we need to have a serious talk with that girl upstairs. We do too. She cracks her knuckles. Did you steal the wand? The wand? Oh, of course, something interesting happens while we're stuck down here. So someone finally nabbed Cornelius's wand? Yeah, someone nabbed it. We've been here since this morning. There's literally no way we could have taken it. Makes sense. That's one less suspect for us. Guess so. Goodbye. Alright then, don't hang around here too long. I need to get back to searching for the wand. Okay, see you. Alright, let's see. Anything else that's interesting? Oh. Let's open up the chest. Next to the old bed is a chest covered in thick layer of dust. Pick the lock. It's dark in here, but that's not a problem. You can open the lock by the sound. You work the lockpick into the hole and the lock opens with a click. Jewels and a ring. Alright, let's go up. Quiet girl. The girl is sitting in the same spot, slowly rocking back and forth. Tell me what happened. The girl instantly bursts into tears. I just wanted to feed my friends. Feed? Friends? Did I hear that right? She wanted to feed the other girls to those creatures? I found them in an abandoned dormitory, and they didn't do anything bad to me. I just wanted to do something to help them. Help. Wait, hold on. These definitely aren't the characters we should be helping now. Did you use Cornelius's wand to raise the dead? What wand? What are you talking about? Cornelius's wand. The girl looks at you in confusion. Another bad student who doesn't even know anything about her own school. Never mind. You wave your hand at her and turn around. Seems like she's not our client. Let's keep looking. I think the girl will be fine. Where are you going? What happened to the girls downstairs? They're alive and really angry. If I were you, I'd hide. The girl doesn't answer. So, I need... How's it going? Have you found anything yet? I found out about the undead in the walls. Oh yeah? Did you learn anything? They really do exist. This one girl made friends with them, and she tried to feed them some of the other girls. What? That was my reaction, too. What am I supposed to do about that? I thought people might have been exposed to ammonia gas. He trails off deep in thought. I'll tell the headmasters about the girl and the undead. I'm sure they'll be interested to hear about that. Thanks. At least we have one less suspect now. Let's see. I think this is the room. He checks the papers he's holding one more time, then goes into the classroom. A hunched man in a teacher's uniform stands motionless by the door, whispering something incomprehensible. Listen. 1 extinguished, 2 extinguished, 3 extinguished, 4 extinguished, 5. 1 extinguished, 2 extinguished, 3 extinguished. Are you alright? Just be careful. As soon as you touch the man's shoulder, he pushes you away and quickly hides behind the door. How rude. You hear the locks closing on the other side. First one click, then a second, then a third, and a fourth, and a fifth. With each click, the emblems depicting candles on your side of the door turn. Oh, look at the floor. On the spot where the teacher was standing, you find a small gold-plated lighter. It's beautiful. You should take it. It might come in handy. The lighter's weight is pleasant in your hand. You flick the wheel, and the spark it gives off glows into a green flame. Examine the door. The door looks more like a work of art with interwoven metal strips on it. In the middle of the door, you see 5 emblems depicting candles. They're upside down now. It's locked. Do we need to deal with him right now? Well, he might be in trouble, and you did say you wanted to help everyone here. Could he possibly have the wand? I haven't found that in the text yet, so we should check. Door is still locked. We'll get around to it. Excuse me. The teacher peers at your ID badge. No one called for the janitor. Students turn to look at you and start giggling. Sit down. Silently sit down at the desk. You sit down at the nearest empty desk. The lecturer stares you in the eye, trying to figure out what you're up to. Keep your face blank. You spend a few minutes under the teacher's stern eye, but eventually she looks away. Fine, let's continue. Now time to check your homework. Mirush. Yes. A thin boy stands up from his desk in the front row. List the great wizards of the Bronze Era. Dori Mori, Rebus Nemus, and Chedis Metis. He barely holds back his laughter. Excellent. Fortunately, the popularity of those names passed along with the Bronze Era itself. And what is meant by the Bronze Era? The period after the first science came to fruition. The first through 7th generation of wizards. A period when wizards had immense powers but only knew a handful of spells that they deciphered from the wall. Very good. Sit down. And the most significant events of those years, Royana? A shy, pudgy girl in the second row stands up. The creation of the Great Canal. She looks uncertainly at the teacher, who nods. A 40-kilometer wide river canal that separates the left and right sides of New Riverland. Dori Mori created it with splitting magic, which sign is now shattered. At these words, everyone in the classroom, including the teacher, nods their head briefly and respectfully. Sit down. Next we have the Silver Era, or the Knights of Bright Lights. Leonard. That's when wizards attempted to seize power. The first was Royal Third. Then there was a second attempt by Volux Fourth, who was successful and stayed in power for 3 years. The light-haired boy recites these words quickly, almost automatically. And you can tell us about the Golden Era, please. That was a period when relations between wizards and ordinary people started to be regulated, when magic clinics, Boredas' combat magic institutes, and other magical institutions, including our school, were built. Good. I'm glad I didn't need to pull the answers out of you word by word this time. That's all for today. Are we going to sit here all day? Okay, I'll move on. You never know when something might be useful. A candlestick holding an unlit candle catches your eye. Look, that candle looks like the ones we saw on the strange teacher's door. Should we try and light it? Use the lighter. Flick the lighter and the candle starts burning with a green flame. Impressive. Let's go take a look at the door and see if anything's changed. Will in a second. Wow. That's a lot. But not a huge amount. Let's see. I just need 3 more crowbar parts and I can have a crowbar. Drawer of the teacher's desk catches your eye. You pull on it, but it's locked. Now what? Stealing for teachers? Why not? The drawer is closed. There must be something useful in there. Yeah, probably students' homework or something. The hole of the lock is quite small, and your lockpick doesn't fit inside. A lockpick won't be of any use here. Aw. The door is locked. Okay. Well, yeah, the door is still locked, but seems it is a little bit different. It's illuminated in the middle now. Briefcase. This briefcase has to be here for a reason. Old habits died hard, huh? Decide to steal the headmaster's papers? Call it writer's intuition. There's something important inside. Not every prop is Chekhov's gun. Try to force the briefcase open with your bare hands, but it makes a traitorous creaking sound. Shh! Do you want the headmaster to hear you? Damn. You insert the lockpick into the briefcase lock and try to be as quiet as you can. Quickly pick the lock. Box. Ooh. You flick the lighter and the candle starts burning. Let's talk to the old headmaster. The old headmaster is digging through papers on his desk, doesn't pay any attention to you. Did you steal the wand? Nonsense! Why would I do such a thing? You didn't want the wand to be sold, and so you decided that was the best way to protect it. Look out there. He points to the window. You see a densely populated city full of tall buildings that almost block out the sky. High up in the sky above, you can just barely make out lines that look like symbols. Are those the signs? Yes, and they're written there for us. He places a hand on his chest. Not for them, he indicates to the city. Huge letters in the sky that shine for us. But now, he clenches his fists. They're trying to bring us down to the level of ordinary humans, to their level. Doesn't matter if it's the wand or the books or even our damn quill pens. I don't want to give them anything. Because we were made for great things. He prods his chest, and they were not. This is our world. He pounds his fist against the desk. The headmaster turns away from you and continues digging through the papers on his desk. Any idea where I can get a strong drink? The old man laughs into his beard. What, are your nerves giving out? Just don't tell him about the student. He definitely doesn't need to know you're giving teenagers drinks. Yeah, I just need a little something. I don't have anything in here, but I do have a secret stash for a rainy day. The old headmaster opens his desk drawer and starts looking for something. Here you go. I'm not supposed to be drinking nowadays anyway. He hands you a key. Thanks. So this opens the wine cellar? There's no wine cellar in the school. The key opens the door to the basement. There's a lamp on the wall that you can pull open to my secret hiding place. The headmaster turns away from you and continues digging through the papers on his desk. What do you know about the undead on the walls? It's an old school legend they just made up. For made-up creatures, there's been a lot of talk about them lately. Well, uncertain times, rumors start flying. Pay them no mind. Alright. There's another one. Quarters. Candle. Flick the lighter and the candle starts burning. The wizard glances at you quickly. Are you a teacher here? I teach the first years the sign alphabet, and I conduct my own research in my free time. What do you have there? You point at the strange device on his desk. It's just an ordinary astrolinograph. We use them to decipher the signs. Are you trying to discover new signs since the old ones are being shattered? It's more like I'm trying to combine them. Combine them? You see, it seems the wizard has been wanting to share his discoveries with someone for a long time. The signs are on the barrier, and I insist that it be called a barrier, not a wall, because the primary function of these structures is protecting the world inside from a destructive force outside. Destructive force? Some kind of creature or being is trying to break down the barrier of symbols and supposedly bring an end to all life inside. All 9 planets will perish, including our own. Okay. So I believe that the symbols on the barrier are a kind of message, and it may be the answer to how we can stop the destruction. Our goal is to decipher this message and not just use its power letter by letter as we are used to doing. And you're the first one who realized that the letters on the wall barrier, that the letters on the barrier might form words? No, there was also Cornelius, but I think most wizards are too busy studying what the symbols can give us right now in the moment. Long-term effects and tasks have always just been passed off to the next generation. Did you say Cornelius? I just so happen to be looking for Cornelius's wand. Have you heard about its disappearance? Yes, Cornelius was the last wizard I can remember who was interested in the meaning behind the symbols. But I was never able to find his work, and his wand itself has no inherent value. It's a paradox. Yes, I've heard of it, the Kornelius Paradox. The wizard nods respectfully. And what have you managed to find out? Firstly, that the radius of the barrier available to us is not all that big. We only see a small portion of the symbols. The sun alone blocks half our field of vision. All the symbols beyond the negative 1 degree, can't be viewed without going blind. It's possible that the creators of the barrier were expecting all 9 planets to work together to decipher the message. But despite all these difficulties, I have been able to decipher 2 words. Wow. Property of. Is that all? Yes. Property of. Property of who? He shrugs. Huh. Property of. So, like, at the beginning of the book, when, like, this book belongs to? That'd be kind of funny. Okay. Pardon me, are you here for the lecture too? Oh, it's you. You're the janitor, right? Have a seat if you like. We just started. Okay. Let's continue. Where did we leave off? You said that there's huge potential inside us, and we need to realize that potential by becoming programmers. And I argued that there's no way you know what kind of potential is inside of us. Right, and you said it's like the Kornelius Paradox. I'm not familiar with the concept. Cornelius's wand, the one that was stolen today, is charged with... Hey, let me explain. I was the one talking to the teacher in the first place. Don't interrupt me. Please, I'm willing to listen to both of you, but since the young lady has already started, let her continue. The wand is charged with a spell, but no one knows what spell it is. Maybe it heals every illness, or makes everyone immortal, or kills everyone, mutters the interrupting student. The wand is incredibly powerful, but also entirely useless at the same time, since no one dares try it out to see what magic is held inside. That's the Kornelius Paradox. That may be relevant to our topic today too, but if I was in your position, I would be more optimistic. If one of you turns out to be charged with a spell that's not quite as useful as other spells, many doors will still be open for the person in the outside world. Programming is like a new language that we'll all be speaking soon, and those who don't know it will feel like outsiders in society. That's nothing new for us, someone in the middle of the room calls out. A few other students chime in, agreeing with him. I understand, but it's one thing to be an outsider and have your ability to rely on your magic. It's another to find yourself in a world that you don't understand at all and have to face it alone. To this end, he opens a folder in front of him. You're planning to start holding elective classes at your school that will help you transition into this world. However, if I understand the laws here correctly, this will need to be approved by both your current and former headmaster. Then I wouldn't count on it happening. A few students laugh. Our last headmaster doesn't really respect this technology of yours. Yes, I've met with him. The newest city administration plans to reduce the power held by School of Magic headmasters, so I don't think he'll be a problem. Well, that's all I have for you now. I'll see you soon in our first transitionary classes. Sparse applause fills the classroom. The students start to disperse. Okay. Flick the lighter, start the candle. Teacher is stupid, and so is his lecture. That. I'm not sure about this programming thing. Jeez, getting a lot of stuff. The teacher thumbs through his folder of documents. You again. Did you enjoy the lecture? I didn't listen. Oh. Did you steal the wand? You, someone who hates wizards, shows up at the school and the wand went missing the very same day. Pretty suspicious. Hold on just a second now. First things first. Why should I have to explain myself to the janitor anyways? The headmaster put me personally in charge of the search. Is that so? And why do you think I hate wizards? You're not a wizard. Everyone who's not a wizard hates wizards. For your information, my grandfather was a wizard. He studied here and was in the Imperial Guild. But my family's magical heritage stopped there. My father didn't inherit any abilities. And that's why you hate wizards and want to ruin their lives. Not at all. In fact, that's the reason why I decided to do something far more important and study programming. He sounds annoyed. I'll be watching you. I need the key to the storage room. Odd that the janitor doesn't have his own keys. He reaches into the endlessly deep pockets of his jacket and searches around, then finally hands you a brass key. Here you go. They gave it to me today. Thanks. Open the door with a key. One more candle. Ooh. Barrel of alcohol. Ooh, a bottle of wine. I'll hang on to that. I was wondering, could you avoid spending money on food in the real world since you can eat and drink in a book? Like I said before, everything I take out of books doesn't last, I remember. But you'd be taking the food out of the book inside of you. Still works the same way. It just dissolves inside of me, which doesn't feel particularly pleasant, by the way. So you've tried? Only with alcohol. Ah, sweet. Now I can make a crowbar. Don't know what I need it for, but I'll be ready if I do. Oh, can I give him back the key? Or do I not have it? Smells like alcohol and fermentation. It will have an unprepared taster on the floor in one sip. Okay. I was gonna give his key back, since I don't think I need to be in there anymore, but... Okay, so that's open. Let's go in here real quick. Make a crowbar. downstairs real quick. See what he's got in the cellar. Excuse me. Your attention is drawn to some sealed barrels over by the wall. You easily pry the lid off each barrel one by one and take a look inside. Some bread and some mushrooms. Candlestick. So wait, so I have 2 bottles of wine. Sweet. So I guess there's a couple of different ways I could have gone about this. And then I believe he was in there. Shady student. Yep. Took you long enough. Are you gonna take it, or am I leaving? Yeah, I'll take it. What is it you wanted? The painting? Go on. It's ugly art anyway. He pulls the huge portrait out from under the bed. Thanks. Careful with that wine. Portrait of a man. You should open a secret passage. It wasn't for nothing that you got that student drunk off cheap booze, right? Guess we'll find out. Alright. Let's go through the candle door. Wait. Class shuttles. Imperials have less than the others. Alright. Abandoned room. The man is on his knees amidst scattered papers covered in different variations of the same symbol. That's the healing magic symbol. I knew right away you were from the Inquisition. Do with me what you will, I no longer care. I tried everything. He sits down heavily on the floor and stares slowly. Starts slowly balling up sheets of paper with scribbled writing all over them. I tried shifting the coordinates of the symbol by the lowest possible degree. That's 3 years in the wizard's jail. He picks up a new piece of paper. I tried using regeneration magic on the symbol. That was stupid, I admit. I have no idea what I hoped would happen. He balls up the new paper. That's 1 year of community service. Damn it, I even tried buying a wand with a healing spell inside it, but you can't find them anymore. That's 2 years of hard labor. The man raises his eyes to you, and you see that his face is literally covered in strange, painful-looking cracks. Huh. I've never seen a disease like that in all my years of practice. To Roderick. So you were a doctor? I believe so. The man notices your janitor ID badge and freezes. Wait a minute. You're not from the Inquisition. No. Then just who in the hell are you? Your daughter is worried about you. She asked me to check in on you and see how you were. And judging by all this, you're not great. Yes, you're right. Out of all the damn symbols out there, the one that was keeping me alive was shattered. What's wrong with you? This is a process that affects a rare type of wizard. It's called made wizards, since we weren't born with particles of magic in our blood. We attain that blood through artificial means. And now my body's rejecting that blood, and there's nothing that can suppress the reaction. Can't you just drain the magic blood back? It's been inside me for 37 years. I can't get rid of it that easily. My whole body is infused with magic, and now I'm going to pay for that. Are you sure? It wouldn't be easy even with ink. I want to try. I said I would. The wizard sits down on the floor, eyes closed. You slowly approach him and sit next to him. I'm not sure anything useful will happen with these shackles on me. I can't... A drop of your blood falls onto the wizard's hand. What the? The wizard pulls his hand back sharply. Don't move. Let me finish. I can't go on. I'm sorry. I understand. Oop. A box. What can I do, though? Or no, not that one. That one. Oh, yeah. Use the crowbar. Well, you insert the crowbar into the gap above the drawer and start pushing down. There's a creaking sound, but the drawer doesn't budge. The drawer creaks and a thin crack appears in it, and then part of the drawer flies off with a crash. Oops. Wow, you really smashed it up. Just imagine what kind of treasure we'll find inside. Papers in a damp book. Yes. No more ink stuff. And that's locked. Make another one of those. Since I'm all healed up, I want to see if I can do anything else for him. Don't move. Let me finish this. Rewrite his illness. I didn't have enough ink. There we go. You concentrate and a stream of ink jumps from your fingers onto the teacher's hand, where it is instantly absorbed. Suddenly, the shackles around your wrists give off a burning coldness. What kind of magic is this? It's still not enough. He needs more. Are you sure you'll be all right? I hope so. You squeeze your hand shut and blood starts flowing along the ink. You can feel all the memory of this illness being wiped from this world. The cold emanating from your shackles becomes unbearable. But you're finished now. What did you do to me? He crawls away from you. It's not important. I hope you get better now. The wizard is still staring at you, shocked, trying to understand what's going on. You notice the cracks in his face starting to dissipate slightly. How are you? Are you all right? Yes, I think so. You did the right thing. I hope so. You rub your wrists, icy pain shoots through them, and the skin starts to dry and crack from the cold. Alright, let's take a moment. There we go. I don't know what you did, but I feel different. Okay. And then let's go tell his daughter downstairs. Did you find out what's wrong with my father? What do you know about man-made wizards? They're the dumbest people imaginable. Why are you asking? You should live with what you're given. Why mess with magic if it's not meant for you? I don't understand those people. Uh-huh. So, I found him. He's gonna be out fine. Where is he? The door with the candle emblems on him. He's in there. Alright, I'll go see him. What do you mean he'll be fine? Was he in danger? Some minor health problems, but he took care of them. Alright, I'll ask him for the details myself. This is for you. Thanks for your help. Glad I could help. What'd you give me? A plant. Alright. Let's see. Meal? Not quite enough. I still need to figure out where... I mean, there's the obviously missing portion. Is that where the painting is supposed to go? I mean, like, is that where I'm supposed to put it, kind of a thing? Or... Portrait slides right into place. Oh! It really was that easy. Oops. You suddenly stopped dead in your tracks. Undead. Quiet, don't make any noise. They haven't noticed us yet. Oh, but I wanna, yeah, call out. Hey you, are you the undead Mikhail was talking about? Dark silhouettes raise their heads and turn to you. Why'd you do that? Now we can't run away. Because I want to look in the room. The undead are heading straight for you. Fight! Slash. Slash. Oh shit. Okay, cool. Eat. And slash. Should take just one more. There we go. Okay. And plus I can't, like, you know, leave it open to where somebody's gonna end up, you know, wandering in there. That's not polite. So... Hey, that guy's gone. Two students are whispering excitedly to each other in the middle of the main hall. Did you hear? They found the wand thief up in the attic. Who was it? I don't know. I think it was one of the students. Both the headmasters are up there now. Did you hear that? Let's get up to the attic quickly. You say that like you haven't already read the ending and found out who stole the wand. The truth is you changed the plot a little with your actions, so I don't actually know how it ends yet. Can you tell me how to get to the attic? Student turns to look at you. Up the stairs, then the classroom on the left. The attic door is in the back of the classroom. Let's go. What on earth were you thinking, you little idiot? Give me the wand. I'll deal with him myself. Mikhail, just calm down for a second. If any of you take a step in my direction, I'll break your stupid wand in half. You'll both get a piece. Except you, Scarecrow. He looks at you. Hey, I thought we were pals. You don't know me. What is the janitor doing here? I heard noises and came to see what was happening. You may go. Your help is not needed here. I think I'll stay. Fine, then. Those boxes at the back are quite dusty. Get to work. I'm not the janitor. Who are you, then? A plumber? Oh, yes. Are you here about the clogged toilet? I am a writer. You stand up straight and fix the hair on your head. Who? I'm here for Cornelius's wand. Another one! He recoils. Why do you want it? Someone's going to pay me well for it. Ah! Hold on. When you say they'll pay you well, how much is that? Clutches his chest. Shut up! I have the wand. And I'm the one who decides what will happen to it. All right, all right. I was planning on deciding its fate quietly by myself. But now that you're involved... Hang on. I understand us three, but why do you even want it? None of your business. Stay where you are. Let's just calm down and... Nobody move! The old man suddenly pulls a revolver out from under his robes and starts waving it around in all directions. This is going crazy. Either you give me back the wand, you little cretin, or you'll be sorry. Oh, damn. Where the hell did you get a gun? He claps his hands to his head. Calm down, just calm down. I thought you were opposed to technology, old man. Give it to me. He reaches out for the wand, keeping the revolver aimed. Take the gun. You quickly take the revolver from his grasp. Mikhail flinches, expecting you to attack him too. Stop waving that thing in my face. Hey, give that back. Mikhail bends Cornelius's wand enough for it to crack slightly. At the same time, you hear echoing noise ringing out from somewhere up above. Everyone freezes. Do you think this is a joke? I'm so sick of your sniveling. And you're panicking? You little... And your weird head. Aw. Oh, sad face. There's no more magic. We all realized that long ago, so stop clinging to the illusion that it's still around. I know why you care about this wand so much, old man. But it's time to move on. Stop being indecisive. He looks at the new headmaster. Stop living in the past. He looks at the old headmaster. And stop lying. He looks at you. Any last words from you three? He smirks. You're going to regret this. Who do you think you are, you brat? Mikhail turns his gaze to the new headmaster. I understand how you feel. I also want to move forward, but can't we find a way that doesn't involve breaking wands? He only smirks in response and then turns to you. Oh, shit. Can I should have healed up beforehand. Try to do something with ink. You think you know everything about magic, huh? But did you know that it's not dead? You grab the old man's wand from his belt and fill it with ink, trying to summon a fireball from the other end. But instead of fire, the ink just leaks out from the tip of the wand and starts dripping on the floor. Ugh! What the hell was that? I've had enough of this. Time stops. Your eyes fall on Cornelius's wand. First on one, then the other. They're both falling through the air. Why am I seeing two wands? Slowly, it dawns on you. Huh? What are you talking about? The left and right halves of the wand land on the floor at Mikhail's feet. The old man stares at the floor, mouth open, unable to speak. The new headmaster sighs softly. Mikhail looks at his hands where a few slivers of wood still remain. The wand is gone. So does this mean we failed the order? You start to hear a loud rumbling sound from somewhere up above. I don't know. The phone call from before pops into your head, the conversation about how it was absolutely essential that you complete this order successfully. The old man falls to his knees trying to piece the wand back together. You prod him aside with your foot and pick up what remains of the wand. Give it to me! The old man seems to have gone completely insane. The rumbling sound gets louder. What's happening? He looks at the ceiling. We need to go. The old man starts laughing loudly. The rumbling completely drowns out his laughter. We need to go! Tape? But how does it end? What did he do? I mean, it sounds like he ruined the world, like destroyed the barrier or something. Did you get the item? Well, I can explain what happened.
Dunno.
You'd better see for yourself. That's okay. I didn't expect to get paid for that. Well, here we go. Hello? What the hell were you thinking? A month later. I've been drinking and talking to my portraits. Damn, my head is killing me. Oh, he's trying to clean up Roderick. Let's see. Drain more ink or increase damage. Hello, leave me alone already. Hi, I heard you were having some problems with the client? Oh, it's you, Vince. Nah, nothing too bad. I could try and talk to him again if you want. I don't know. I feel like this work just isn't right for me. Hey, what are you saying? You have to do this and get your shackles removed. Your fans need you. I know, I'm just not sure this is the right path. It's bringing me nothing but suffering. I'm not the only one suffering because of it. You just have to put up with this a little bit longer. 3 more orders and you're done. Yeah. Hold on. Did I ever tell you how many orders I had left? Yes, of course you did. Of course. Did you forget? Huh. Alright. Okay, I'll call him right now. Maybe he'll change his mind. Alright. Vince. Anyway. We're gonna go ahead and quit to the main menu before it starts ringing again. Alright. So, that was the third book. That was ended up being pretty long. Third book for the Bookwalker. So we're going to go ahead and call it good there and pick this up again next time. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed it. I've been enjoying it myself. It's pretty fun. I look forward to playing next time. Make sure you take care of yourself. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, rest of your week. Stay safe in any cold or crazy weather that might be going on. And I look forward to seeing you next time. All right? So take care. Okay? Bye-bye.